Hello everyone and welcome to the Mind, Body, Soul Evolution, or welcome back if you are a regular viewer. So my name is Debbie and welcome to Gemini season. Today, May 20th, is the first day of Gemini season, and this takes us all the way through June 20th, where we begin the summer solstice, the official beginning of summer going into Cancer season. So Gemini, it is depicted by the two faces, right? The twins. In the tarot, it is the Lover's card, which is about duality, opposition, right? It's about that balance of showing you the dark and the light. It is about making choices. Now, the Lover's card does not necessarily mean a love relationship, although it could, but it's really about finding balance, finding harmony. Geminis are some of the big thinkers, right? Associated with the sign of swords in the tarot. It's logic, it is our thoughts, it is clarity, it is cutting through the junk to get to where we want to go. So we're going to pull cards for every sign, starting with Aries, and then at the end, depending on how much time this takes, we'll do a general reading for everyone. So this whole year has been about transformation. I've been talking about that, and so has everyone else. So Gemini is really inviting us to get curious about life, to explore new opportunities, especially around career, our personal growth, and our relationships. So we're going to start off with Aries. We'll go right into it. We're working with the Spirit Animal deck, our Ganesha deck, and Wild Reflections Tarot. So Aries, this is your reading for Gemini season. So let's just see what Spirit Animal is working with you, and since that one popped out, we'll take it. Aries, you have Frog Spirit number 28. Clear out the clutter. So look at that, clear out the clutter. So let's find this here. So it'll be interesting to see what this is talking about, if it's physical clutter or the clutter in our minds. To clear out the clutter, Frog Spirit knows that we can become drawn to the excitement of lots of noise or activity. Then the next thing we know, our schedules and homes are cluttered with commitments we regret making, and objects taking up valuable space. Frog Spirit appears to tell you to clean house, prioritize what you need, and get rid of or give away the rest. Now is the time to let go so you can have some space in your home, in your day, and in your mind. So this is collectively, right? Making space all over the place. Clearing out that spring to summer cleaning. Reevaluating the thoughts that you have in your mind. This has been a regular theme as well, right? Don't believe everything you think, especially in Gemini season. Geminis can get really lost in their thoughts, and sometimes they can believe everything that they think, which is what we do, right? So it's about discerning, like, is that really true? Is that really helpful to me? Where did that thought come from? Is it mine, or is it something that somebody put into me? So Aries, you're the first sign of the zodiac, right? Clearing, and you are the renegade. You are the one who comes to, you're the first one. You come in as the fire sign, right? To clear the way. So clear out the clutter, whatever that is. And let's pull your Ganesha card. And you have the card of concentration. Concentration. So what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on overwhelming thoughts? Are you focusing on tasks at hand? Are you focusing on new opportunities that are making their way to you? Right? What is your focus? Concentration. So make sure, though, Aries, in your moments of concentration, that you come up for air and enjoy the sunshine. You have sunshine here today. Maybe you can hear the birds out there chirping. So let's pull a couple cards for Aries in Gemini season. Let's just see what the season of Gemini holds for you as we move from the spring into the official summer. Although this weekend is Memorial Weekend in the United States, so for some of us, this is the unofficial start to summer, right? It's a 3-day weekend. A lot of things down at the shore are opening up. A lot of the shops and such. So, yeah. That sense of vibrancy and energy. Just, from the sun illuminating us. Okay, so Aries, this is for you. Okay, this is not pulling cards out. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull cards for you. I'll take out 3. Queen of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, King of Cups, and you have Knight of Swords on the bottom. Swords, again, associated with the sign, with the air signs, which is what Gemini is, and that's about your thoughts. That's about gaining clarity, cleaning out, right? That's about cutting off the unnecessary things. So, Queen of Wands, our kings and our queens, they've worked really, really hard. They've committed to themselves and their families and their community to create the life that they want. And this is what you're working towards. For some of you, there may be something or someone from the past that's holding you back. It could be a memory of someone, maybe you had a breakup, or maybe you missed a job that you used to have, or maybe you're yearning for that new job. Again, this is a time, to explore opportunities. So if you feel like you have a missed opportunity, you don't. King of Cups. Now, this is the most romantic king, as, in the tarot per se. It is about love. Leaning into his emotions, although he's not letting his emotions carry him away, right? Like he's taking charge of his emotions. He's in tune with his intuition. And he also has learned to go with the flow. So I know as a fire sign, we can go with the flow, and sometimes we can get a little rambunctious. So the Queen of Pentacles is asking you, Aries, to slow down. What is your greater plan? And take a look at what opportunities are coming your way to fulfill your greater plan. Whatever you are longing for in the past, yeah, right? It's like there's something, for some of you, there's something or someone or an experience that you had that you're missing. And it's okay to miss it as long as it doesn't take over your life. As long as it doesn't become one of those thoughts in your mind on a repeating cycle that takes you away from, from clearing out. Maybe that's what you need to clear out. And to acknowledge it for what it was, to say thank you to whatever this experience was that you're missing or this person, and to move forward and, kind of allow yourself to go with the flow. You have a king and a queen here. Fire and water. Now, fire and water can get a little dicey, but they can also be very passionate, right? They create a lot of steam and a lot of energy together. So lean into that energy. You have the Knight of Swords on the bottom. So you know where you want to go. You know what you want to create for yourself, Aries. Don't spend a whole lot of time here, but always maybe use this as a reflection to guide you forward. So Aries, that is your reading for Gemini season. Always putting these back into the deck somewhere in the middle. And we'll go on to Taurus. Hello, Taurus. How are you? Happy Gemini season. So yesterday, was my brother-in-law's birthday. He's at the very, very end of Taurus. And so he carries traits of both Taurus and Gemini, just because the energies are so close together. But he definitely is more on the Taurus. So let's see for Taurus what spirit animal is guiding you through a Gemini season. Okay, this one's, no. There was 2 cards there, so we'll just pull one. Okay, Taurus, you have spider spirit. Make your dreams real. 56. And again, this is time to explore, right? Just look at the colors on that. Kind of a little witchy kind of colors, right? This feels more like an October card. Let's see those spider spirits. And let's see what this says. Make your dreams real. And so again, this is for Taurus. Weaving your dreams into the fabric of life begins with a single thread of intention, and then spirit joins as your co-weaving partner. Take but a single step to make your dream a reality, and spirit will take 10 steps toward you, for the universe is designed to support your dream weaving. Spider spirit arrives when you need reminding of the awesome power of co-creation with spirit. So, take the steps, Taurus. It is time, right? It is time to, maybe as Gemini season comes and it's an air sign and it kind of blows the dust off of things, you get a little more clarity to bring those dreams into reality. So let's see what Ganesha holds for our Taurian friends. Divine support. The Om symbol. I carry that on my wrist. So, Taurus, when you're trying to bring something into reality, take a moment and take a step back. And just ask for guidance from your higher self, if you want to call in whatever it is you believe in, angels, spirit guides. If there's something in specific, like if you're looking for a new job, just call in the guides for career and financial support. Because there's guides for everything. If you're looking for a new home, then call in your guides of foundational support and new homes, right? If you're looking for a new car, I just got a new car, guides of safe travel. So there's all kinds, I know, sorry, this gets really noisy. The follow's on the bottom. We'll see if she shows up. So there's all kinds of guides. So whatever it is you're looking to create or manifest, or whatever dreams you're having, maybe just ask support from the universe for those guides to come in. So maybe we don't ever complicate it and call in the whole spirit team, right? That's exhausting. But maybe you call in the spirit guides that align with the specific thing you're trying to create. And maybe it's more understanding to yourself, so you would call in certain archangels. So yeah, so what are you creating? What are your dreams, dear Taurus? We have 8 of Wands. Let's just look at that. The Star, Major Arcana. This comes after a little disruption. And the next card is the Tower. 2 Major Arcanas, and you have the 2 of Swords. So you have decisions to make, or maybe you're having trouble deciding. If you have multiple dreams, Taurus, which could very well be it, or how to step forward. Two of Swords. So, and so you know where you want to go. For some of you, this could be you're not quite sure how to get there. But here's the thing, right? Spider spirit. You take one step and spirit or source, your divine support team, will take 10 steps towards you. Once you start taking a step, things will start to move very quickly. Now, for some Taurians, a fast pace might be a little hard to handle. Our earth signs don't like to take things too quickly. They like to plan it out. They like to get very granular. But here's the thing. Maybe because you have the Tower here, you have the Star, right? So you're leaning into faith that it's available to you. But for things to come forward, wherever it is that you are stuck or resisting, the Tower is going to come along and say, okay, let's just kind of pull this out a little bit. Let's give you a little bit of discomfort, because we have our greatest growth when we are uncomfortable, right? When life is good and happy, and we all want that, right? But when life is good, when it's happy, when we're just kind of going along, we don't see the need to make any changes, and we don't feel like we need to make any changes. But when life gets a little uncomfortable, that's when change happens. That's when we start to get, the blindfold will start to come off, and you'll get clear vision. You know where you want to go, or you have the direction or the thing. You're not quite sure what to do. So take one step. Don't let this fast pace stop you, Taurus, because sometimes we need like a big push, right? Thing is, you have faith in yourself. You know you're meant for bigger things in this moment. But if you're not taking the steps, the Tower is going to come along and kind of disrupt you and shake you up, get you out of your comfort zone to help you to remove the blindfolds and to gain clarity. And that could, although this was, the frog spirit came in for Aries, clearing out the clutter, you could have some stagnancy in the way that you go about your everyday. Maybe you're in a big routine, Taurus, that needs to get shaken up a little bit for you to move forward. So that is for our Taurus friends. We'll go into Gemini. Again, happy birthday, Gemini. And we'll see what the Gemini season holds for our Gemini friends. So we'll pull your animal spirit card first. And I think I have to take this bracelet off. Maybe I'll turn it around, see if that helps, because it makes a lot of noise. So what animal spirit is guiding Gemini during their season? And we have the new moon in Gemini coming up on the 25th or 26th. So this is also a good time to start setting your intentions or to start your manifesting process. So whatever it is you're trying to create or manifest in your life, start the process now. We're only a couple days away from the new moon in Gemini. So, yeah, what is that for you? Gemini, your animal spirit is a beaver spirit, card number 6. Lay a solid foundation. Okay, so card number 6. So I'm giving out these numbers in case they happen to resonate or mean anything to you. It could be 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years. It could be the 6th month, June, which is considered Gemini season, although it technically starts in May. It could be, the 6th of the month. It could be your lucky number. Okay, Beaver Spirit is here to tell you about a power within you that is born of spirit, the source of which all life arises. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. This is the power to establish the sacred connection with the universal consciousness and co-create the world you desire. Know that it takes work to lay a solid foundation for your dreams. If with spirit as your partner, you bring the twigs and branches of your intentions and desires and spread them across the river of time, you'll be amazed at what you can do. That which you desire will come to you and remain sustainably, and will remain sustainably if you build a sturdy foundation. Keep your intention and energy consistent. Wow, Gemini, very spiritual reading for you. They're all spiritually garnered, right? But this is just so far into, I love the verbiage on that, for that. Cultivation. What are you cultivating? So maybe you have to loosen some things up in order to plant in that firm foundation. Maybe going back to Aries, where we have to clear out some clutter and cultivate, make space for the new foundation to be set. Okay, Gemini, let's see what the Tarot holds for our Gemini friends. Let's see if your card shows up in today's reading. And if not, it doesn't matter. It's always, the energy is always there, whether the card is there or not. And that's part of reading tarot. It's understanding that the cards, not only the cards that come up, but the cards that come before or after that brought you to this point. So Gemini, let's see what these cards hold for you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and cut the deck. So Gemini, we have 7 of Cups, the World, 9 of Wands, and what? 8 of Pentacles. Okay, so lay a strong foundation. 8 of Pentacles. So some of you have been working really, really hard on your craft or on your job or in your educational process. You're learning something, you're taking the time to learn something of significance. 7 of Cups. You're starting to decide or discern what is important to you, what is not. What are the things that hold value for you, and what are the things that are taking up space? Whether space in your mind, space in your life and in general. You're starting to weed things out that are not part of you. What you're doing now is going to come into fulfillment very quickly. You've learned a lot of lessons about yourself and how the world works. You've probably been leaning a little more into your spiritual self, or to the belief of something greater than yourself or greater than what this physical world is. And maybe you're cultivating a spiritual journey. So take a moment. This is a really good time to sit back and reflect on everything that you've been doing. The work that you've been doing, what you're making a priority, and what can no longer needs your priority. Again, you're coming full circle very quickly, but take a moment. There we go. Reflect on all the work you've done. Take a look. All these wands or rods growing, right? They're just growing. Look at what you have created. You're mastering your skills, Gemini. Some of you are building something completely new that might even take you by surprise. And again, the sunflowers, right? So follow the sun. You're not a sun sign, but you are in the beginning of, at least in the northern hemisphere, like the beginning. You take us into the official summer. So let yourself shine, Gemini. Don't be shy. Let yourself shine. Great reading for our Gemini friends. Maybe we'll go into Cancer. Hello, Cancer. Let me put these back in the deck. We'll get into Cancer. How's Cancer doing today? So Cancer starts us off. The first day of Cancer season is summer solstice, and that's a big celebration. New York City has the summer solstice in Times Square every single year. They shut down all of Times Square. It's a big celebration of equal times of daylight and night time, daytime and nighttime. People say, you know, the days are longer or the nights are shorter, and it's not. The time itself is the same. It's just the amount of light that is shining. So there is equality, there is equanimity, there is balance, there is re-regulating, and Cancer takes us to that first step. So let's see what animal spirit is working with our Cancerian friends. Canary spirit, card number 12. Sing your own song. Look at that. What a beautiful card. As you know, Cancer is the very first day of the summer solstice. The sun is bright and there's a lot to celebrate. So sing your song, Cancer. And just look, the little canary has a crown on its head. So like owning all your fabulousness. And see, Canary Spirit arrives to help you find your authentic voice and express what is in your heart. Free yourself to experience your inner light and let it shine as the Canary Spirit sings to remind you of your inherent joy and to support you as you sing your own song. Now is the time to let the world know who you really are. Canary Spirit's message is that you are free to be yourself and express your most cherished desires. And again, this whole year, like I said in the beginning, is about transformation. Transformation is also about self-expression, allowing yourself to be seen and known for who you are, that part of you that has been suppressed or that shadow side. So a lot of us are coming out and allowing those aspects of ourselves to be known. So good job, Cancer. Yeah. What song are you singing? What song comes to your heart when you hear that? What song do you want to just get on the karaoke machine and just belt it out, right? Your Ganesha card, Cancer. Okay, same one. Divine support. And sometimes this kind of thing happens, right? You have divine support as you step out of that comfort zone, because Cancers, you have to get out of your shell. You have this big shell of protective armor that you can kind of hide inside. But maybe you come out of that now, Cancer. Maybe it's time to, let the armor down a little bit. You are being divinely guided. So since this is the second time this card has come up with the Om, this is a yoga symbol. In Hindu, it means God. So maybe some of you are starting a yoga practice, or you are in a yoga practice, and maybe some of you want to explore becoming a yoga teacher. Okay. Don't know where that came from, but that is what's coming through for some of our Cancerian friends. I have a friend who's a Pilates instructor. She practices yoga, but she prefers to teach Pilates. So maybe that is something within you that you want to look at, Cancer. Or something in that realm. It's all about the spirituality and the space within you that is authentically you to present forward. However you want to present that out there, right? So usually I wait for cards to pop out, right? And we know this. But sometimes if they're not popping out, I will just pull them. Cancer. Queen of Cups. I mean, this is so you, right? You're going with the flow. The Chariot. A little duality, a little King of Wands. You have, okay, Queen of Cups, King of Wands. And before, who had this? Was it Aries had the King of Cups and she had the King of Cups. It was not the Queen of Wands. I forget what it was. But anyway, duality and balance, right? Page of Swords. Swords, again, are our thoughts. Gaining clarity. This page has the bow and arrow in its hand. So this could be about stepping into your space. The word bravery is coming up for me, or being a little more bold, or not big assertive, because Cancers are not generally too assertive, although I do know somebody is a male Cancer who is very assertive to the point that he can't take no for an answer. That's not all Cancers. But maybe you're starting to get a little more assertive in who you are, right? Queen of Cups, the Chariot. You're ready. You're ready to let yourself be seen. Look at this. Don't you just want to be like on the beach and just kind of having a good old time dancing on the beach and carrying your shell? The thing is, Cancer, once you make up your mind, the Chariot, full energy, moving forward, quick motion, faster than the Eight of Wands that we pulled for Taurus. I think Taurus got the Eight of Wands. This is faster. So once you start to step out of your comfort zone, once you step into a little bit of bravery or courage, and courage is just like 20 seconds of, doing something even though you're afraid, right? Or even though you're hesitant. But all of these cards are about balance, right? The dark horse, the white horse. So again, this is a little more aligned with Cancer, about equal time of day and night, right? The daylight, the night time. Balance, king and queen balancing. Again, fire and water. Creating a lot of passion in your life, exploring that passionate side of you, Cancer, that maybe you haven't paid too much attention to. Maybe you're going to let yourself shine. And again, the vibrancy of the golden canary, right? Cancers are coming out of their shells. They're showing us who they are. Great job, Cancer. I love this for you. So we will come into Leo. Hello, Leos. How are my Leo friends today? And again, happy Gemini season to all of us. So, Leo, what does Gemini hold for you? What is this season under Gemini, right? Our first air sign. So, seeing things in a new perspective, or seeing different sides of the same situation, right? Geminis are really good at that. Letting your thoughts. Nightingale spirit. Love is all around. Card number 41. This card dropped right out. So, and you can always look, I'll see what the book says. You can always look up the Nightingale and see what it says. But I love that she's on, it looks like back in the day, there would be called an old Victrola, where they would play albums where you'd have to crank the handle in order for the record to turn. Yeah, most of you don't know what that is, but that's okay. So again, Leo, card number 41, Nightingale. And it says, I'll hold this up for you. Look at the colors on this. In the darkness of night, Nightingale spirit sings her song of love and hope, a harboring of dawn to remind you that the sun will rise again soon. You are so loved. And the illumination song of the Nightingale spirit calls you to a new level of self-awareness and connection with the light. Yes, there is shadow and darkness, but love and prosperity exist everywhere, even in the seeming emptiness of space, darkness, and a starless night. Hearken to the message, letting the music of the Nightingale song remind you that love is all around. So love is all around, Leo. And Leo, right? Love is all around. You are guided by your heart, right? You're the strength card in the tarot. You lead with your heart. You have a deep, abounding love within you. So let's see what the Ganesha holds for our Leo friends. And it is determination. And this is card number 21. So you have 41 and 21. You can always play with the numerology on those. 41 can stay at 41 or can factor down to 5, and 21 can factor down to 3, which is the symbol of God, which is the symbol, right? The symbol of God. Spiritual belief, leaning into the things that we cannot see, but we know to be true. And that's what spirituality is, right? You can't see it, but you know innately within you that it is true. And just like Leo, you know innately within you, love is all around. And it's not always the love you have for your families or your partner or your friends, right? Love is the birds outside singing. They're just singing. That is being in tune with yourself or with nature. Love is that feeling of being connected and whole. Okay, there's somebody outside. So let's pull our cards for our Leo friends and see what the tarot holds for our Leos. I'm sorry. There's people outside. I might have to close the window. You never know when to record around here, because there's always somebody coming around. Yesterday it was the lawnscapers, and today we have people outside talking. Okay, 10 of Wands. Knight of Wands, all fire energy. Queen of Pentacles. Again, Knight of Swords. And his second time Knight of Swords landed on the root of the deck. So you're leaning. Swords is about, okay, your thoughts. It's all about the air signs. It's clarity. 10 of Wands. So, Leo, I'm going to tell you that you've probably, in your determination, you may have been taking on responsibility that wasn't yours to take on. This is coming in pretty strong. And the Leos are the protectors, but you may have been doing things that felt aligned with you, but were not your part to take. And you may feel a little tired. Like, I've been doing this for this person and that person, or for this organization or for that. And then you realize, wait a minute, it wasn't even for me. I put myself out for others. I think that's a feeling I'm getting for you, Leo. Like, you've been putting out a lot of energy, and in your heart or in your mind, you're feeding the village. But in the process of feeding the village, you've neglected yourself. So the Knight of Wands is like, hold on a minute. Let's come back. Let's come back home. Come back to you. And what do you need for fulfillment? This is a very busy card, right? In a lot of ways, this is very nice, right? There's a big crop growing. You can see the benefit of all the work that's been put in. But maybe it's been a lot of work, and maybe we need to simplify things and go to an energy that, look, it's a gentleman with his puppy and on a canoe out into nature. The nightingale, right? The song of the night. It's all about nature, going back into the nature of who you are, what you truly want. Right? You're starting to clear things out. You're starting to have some realizations, Leo, that you've been working so hard, but maybe not for yourself. So it's asking you to take a moment, sit into the emotion of what you want for you. Sit into your intuition and go with the flow of energy that brings you back home to you. And in doing so, the bounty will be for you and for your home, and what makes you shine and smile and what lights you up. I hope that has made some sense to our Leo friends. I hope you have gained some clarity. With that, Leo, let me know if that resonates. And again, if anyone needs any more clarification on this, just let me know. And I'll be happy to clarify anything. So let's go into our Virgo friends. Hello, Virgo. How are we? Let's get into Virgo in Gemini. What does Gemini season hold for our Virgo friends? So they are aligned, right? They are both air signs. No, Virgo is Earth. I'm sorry, that is not true. Virgo is Earth. So let's see if Gemini starts to kind of dust things off for our Virgo friends. So let's see what spirit animal is working with Virgo. Again, spider spirit, make your dreams real. And this is 56. Now, Virgo, you have the plan. Virgos, we know, right? They are the ultimate planners. They have their list. They have the organizational charts. But let's see. We'll get into your reading a little deeper. We'll read this spider spirit, and we'll see. Did this come up with This came up with Taurus, I think. So your fellow Earth sign. I think that's what it came up for. Someone can remind me if I'm incorrect. Well, weaving your dreams into the fabric of life begins with a single thread of intention. And then Spirit joins as your co-weaving partner. So Spirit is your co-weaving partner to bring your dreams into life. Take but a single step to make your dream a reality, and Spirit will take 10 steps toward you. For the universe is designed to support your dream weaving. Spider Spirit arrives when you need reminding of the awesome power of co-creation with Spirit. Ideas and resources will begin to appear as if by magic as you begin to bring your dreams from the realm of intention into the world of the senses where they take form. I love this for you, Virgo. I love this card, though. I just absolutely love this card. And it's coming up twice in the same reading. Very interesting. But so has the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Swords. So let's see. What message does Ganesha have for Virgo? For Virgo, you have insight. Oh, man, look at that. The deep indigo, right? The third chakra is completely illuminated. Blue indigo roses. Insight and working with Spirit. Beautiful. Nice job. I love that. That insight card is probably one of my favorite cards. I've never seen that card. Well, it's never come out in a reading in the Ganesha deck. So, okay, Virgo, what does the Tarot hold for you in this season of Gemini? For no, you're going deep, right? You're going into maybe uncharted territory or a slightly uncomfortable territory. And trusting, right? Trusting in something greater than yourself, gaining that intuitive insight, or listening to it, or hearing it in a whole new way. Okay, this card must have come out. I'll take 2 more cards. Okay, this one. And this. And we have 9 of Pentacles. Queen of Wands. Look at that. I love that card. 3 of Pentacles. And on the bottom of the deck, oh my gosh, 10 of Pentacles. Virgo. Look at this. So, let's get into this. When you begin to trust your insight, when you begin to take little steps and trust that, Gabby Bernstein has the book and the oracle and the deck, the universe has your back. I think that's what it's called. When you begin to trust into the inner knowing, then all of a sudden, like, things open up. You have 3 pentacles. You have 3 pentacles here. That's a lot of pentacles, considering we were only pulling 4 cards from the tarot. Once you start And Pentacles are earth signs, right? So you're creating, and you know you want to be comfortable. You want to have the things in your life for you and your family and your loved ones, right? Once you start to believe in that insight and to follow that insight, everything that you desire is yours. It's going to ignite some deep passion within. Like, I love this Queen of Wands. Like, she's just kind of walking through, and the steer, they're just kind of following her. Like, you're gaining that self-confidence that it almost feels like a sense of independence. So I don't know if some of you have been dependent or codependent on someone or something, or on someone for something in your life, and you're starting to gain this independence and this new inner strength. There's a lot of growth happening. You're starting to have fun. So some of you, if you've been working really, really hard, if maybe you have lost faith in yourself, you're starting in that, finding that faith. You're allowing, right, finding this sense of independence and self-knowing and excitement, right? You're starting to allow yourself to have fun and just let go. Just let go. Some of you have maybe been in very serious situations, or you take things very seriously, or some things that it's time to let that go. Again, look at this card, insight. I love the indigo roses. Leaning into that insight will open up the whole world for everything that you desire, Virgo. You're going to claim some new independence. Does that mean you're breaking away from someone or something? It could be you're breaking away from a mindset about something. Because again, this is Gemini season. This is about your mindset. This is about your thoughts. This is about cutting off or cutting through the bullshit. So this could be a mental, thoughts in your mind, gaining independence from those, and not necessarily gaining independence from someone or something else. I love this for you, Virgo. So Virgo said, let me know. Let me know what that is for you. Cannot wait to see your growth in these next 30 days. So who do we have next? We have Virgo. We have Libra. I think our Libras are next. So Libras are the counterpart, or not the counterpart. They are another air sign. They're more about balance and equality. They are symbolized by the card of justice in the Tarot. I might have to shut that window. Somebody's got ladders outside. But let's see. What animal spirit is guiding our Libra friends? Mouse spirit. Tend to the small things. Card number 40. Look how cute. Aww. Card number 40. Tend to the small things. Because sometimes you can have this big picture in our mind, and we want to get to the big stuff, but all the little things, like all the Virgo things, all the plans, everything that needs to be written down. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to close this window. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. They are out there with ladders. So they're climbing up on I wouldn't be surprised if they climbed up on the balcony here. So, getting very granular, right? Sometimes we see the big picture and we go, oh yeah, that's what I want. But we have to get very granular and take care of the things to get us there. So let's see, Mouse Spirit. Okay, it says, the humble mouse pays attention to the smallest details, and Mouse Spirit calls on you to notice the nuances and the fine print at this time. In your eagerness to meet your goals and pursue your dreams, it is easy to forget the importance of clear communication, Gemini, and tending to the little things, including people's subtle signs that they are unhappy, as well as the small voice inside you that says, this doesn't feel right. Take your time to sniff out what you need to know. is there some detail or nuance about how you engage with others or operate in the world that is key to your success, but you've too readily dismissed as nothing big or nothing special? Mouse spirit reminds you what seems small may be important and powerful, may be more important and powerful than you think. So tend to the small details. So going back to our Virgo friends, and take a page out of their book and say, okay, like, what details am I missing or not seeing? Or look, I'm a Sagittarius. I'm a triple fire. I want to jump over everything and just get to it, and I know that I can't. This is why I appreciate my other signs in my life, right? To keep me balanced. Healing. Oh, Ganesha on a peacock. Healing. And this card, Mouse Spirit, is card number 40. This is card number 36. So 36 in numerology, you can take that down to a 9. And 9 is the completion of a cycle. So let's see what this tarot holds for our Libra friends. What cycles are you completing? What are you healing from? And I know a couple Libras, they've got a lot of balls in the air. They've had a lot of activity and energy happening. Some good and some, some sadness, right? So maybe it's time to take a step back, take a breath in, breathe out, and just allow yourself some time, Libra. But let's see what the tarot holds for you, just in case I'm wrong. Which could be, right? So what does tarot hold for Libra during Gemini season? I love this on the peacock. And the peacocks, on their tail feathers, a lot will say that, this is like the third eye, like the psychic vision. So it depends on how you want to look at that. And if peacock means anything to you, if the peacock bird itself means something to you, that's also a symbol for you to look at. Although we pulled the mouse spirit and it was a mouse. Also look at, the other symbols on these cards. I'm not pulling them all out to attention, but because the peacock is so prominent in this deck, I thought it was worth mentioning. Okay, so Libra, Ace of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, oh my goodness, Eight of Wands, and on the root you have Death. So you're going through a transformation, and maybe that's what this healing card is about. For some of you, this transformation I'm getting the idea of, or the inspiration, I guess, of psychic development. Some of you could be tuning in. Our air signs are very intuitive, but they can sometimes mistake their intuition for logic. They can get the two of them mixed up because they run very closely together in the part of the brain. You're going through a transformation, so maybe it has to do with this healing, but here it is. Ace of Wands, you have new opportunities coming your way. This could be an influx of money. This could be changing the jobs that you're in. Or maybe you're just reevaluating your finances or reevaluating your life and what the things are that important. Although Pentacles is around, money, stability, home. Maybe you're reevaluating, though, what all of that means to you. Because it means something different for everyone. Some people can be happy in an apartment, and it doesn't really have to be home. It's just a place to rest because they're off doing other things. And some want to cultivate a homestead kind of home. When they land there, they're there, and they want to make it their comfortable space. Four of Pentacles. Some of you have been holding back a little bit. Libra, some of you guys have been holding back, maybe holding back on your desires, on what you want, or not being honest with yourself about what you want, but that's changing. You're finally going to allow yourself. And maybe that's where your healing is. Some of you maybe have felt undeserving. I'll take this off. Undeserving or not worthy, which I don't like that word, worthiness. But some of you may feel like you're undeserving, and you're healing that aspect of yourself. You're starting to see things in a whole new way. You're shedding that old aspect of yourself. And once you do, your life will completely open up. I mean, you see these wands reaching towards the waterfall, and then there's little light. It looks like a little tiny tree up here, just lighting the way for you to find your space. So maybe some of the details that you're looking into, Libra, are releasing the little things, because it doesn't have to be a big thing that holds you back. It can be a whole lot of little things, the little details that get in the way of your progress, that get in the way of fulfillment. So maybe your male spirit is telling you the little details are the things. Look at the little things that have been holding you back, that turned into from one little thing to a big wall. You're breaking through that, Libra. You have abundance. You're taking a look at what matters to you. You have this big flow ready, and you're ready to heal. Maybe lean into that peacock, right? And the colors. A lot of growth for our Libra friends, so congratulations, Libra. This is a really nice reading. Death and rebirth, not always a comfortable thing. A lot of these things are emotions. Let's go into Scorpio. A lot of these things are, and maybe I should do a video on this. We tend to get hesitant on change, because we like things the way that they are, but then we don't like things the way that they are because we're always complaining about our lives, right? And then we get these feelings rushing through us. And what do is our mind decides to identify these feelings. Maybe we don't identify them in our mind. Maybe because it's an energy source. Maybe we let the energy move through us. And the more we identify it as, I'm stressed, I have anxiety, maybe we just let it move through us. Maybe the less we give it an identifier, and the more we let it flow, the easier life gets. Maybe I'll do a video on that. Scorpio. How is Scorpio today? Let's pull your animal spirit, and let's see what spirit is guiding you through this season of Gemini. Now, my dad was a Scorpion, my mom was a Gemini, and you wouldn't think that those two signs would go together, but they did. They did. So let's see. Sorry. Scorpio, what do you have? You have the porcupine spirit. Time for a beginner's mind, card 48. Time for a beginner's mind. And Scorpio is probably like, yeah, no, I'm not a beginner. I know, I'm not a beginner. But let's see. Maybe taking a few steps back, right, can help to catapult you a little more forward. And it says, when porcupine spirit calls your name, you are being asked to adopt a beginner's mind and to approach situations with innocence and curiosity. The old confining stories no longer have a hold on you. And again, this goes back to that transformation, right? Of, getting curious about life and changes, exploring opportunities. Let's see, approach situations with innocence and curiosity. The old confining stories no longer have a hold on you. Life is full of surprises hiding in plain sight. Look at world look at the world afresh with new eyes. Can you help find, looking at the world with fresh new eyes can help you find what you have been seeking, whether it is a relationship, an opportunity, or evidence that you have all you need right now to co-create what you desire. So curiosity, childlike, so kind of in alignment with the pages of the tarot, right? They are curious. They are the messengers, but they are curious. And they are that child mentality, right? They are like the youngsters. So let's see what Ganesha holds for our Scorpion friends. So I love that. Going back to the beginning, right? Getting curious. You know, forgetting that, you know, like, do we know it all? Do we really? Could we have possibly learned everything? And sometimes I get to that point where I'm like, yeah, I know. I don't need to know anything else. I'm like, oh, no, that's not true. Belonging, card 41. And looks like he's sitting on top of a mouse. So belonging. So maybe belonging to your curiosity or to your childlike, or not your childlike, but to a more innocent way of moving through life. Maybe this is more of a simplistic lifestyle or a simplistic view of life. And instead of all the burdens that come, right? Again, you're following Libra, and Libra is an air sign, and they are all about thought and logic. But it could also, you know, kind of push some of that out of the way, because we know Libra is going into their intuitive side and kind of trying to balance logic and intuition. Although Scorpios are very psychic. So let's see what the tarot holds for Scorpio. Belonging and porcupine spirit, childlike, right? Having fun, going out and playing. What do you have on the bottom? Okay. 7 of Swords. Let's see what else has. 7 of Pentacles, 2 sevens, Page of Cups. Here's that curiosity, right? And the Chariot. So Scorpio. We're going to start off with the 7 of Swords. That was a card on the root of the deck. Sorry, that's outside if you can hear that. They have the big metal ladders and they're climbing up the sides of the building. 7 of Swords. So, and just very much like the porcupine, right? You can be very protective of yourself or the way you're doing things. And that protection sometimes can keep you a little more isolated. So this sense of belonging, right? And for some of you might be finding new friends or new communities. If you're going through some spiritual change, well, I think it's all spiritual changes. But if you're starting to change the way you move through this world, or changing your life in some way, or learning something new, I'm going to say Scorpio, which will not be too surprising. Scorpios can be very secretive, but I would say if you're going through some transition, maybe keep it inward, because you may be sharing something with somebody that doesn't agree with you, and you could get a little defensive. But here's the thing. You're wondering if what you're doing is the right thing. And maybe you've been working a little too much or too hard, and you've not allowed yourself, right, to enjoy. So maybe some of you are in like a higher management position, and there's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. And maybe that's where the defensiveness comes from. Or the protectiveness. I shouldn't say defensiveness, maybe protectiveness. Protecting yourself, right? Because some of us in certain positions, you have to make unpopular decisions. And those come from work requirements and with the job and the way society tells us to handle things. And maybe you're finding that there's a different way to still be in that role and get things done that doesn't seem quite as abrasive. Once you start to adapt, and this is Page of Cups, right? So this is obviously associated with our water signs. Once you start to adapt, like a go with the flow kind of way of moving through things, now you might be more of go with the flow like in your personal life, but in your professional life, maybe not. Maybe you integrate the two. And I know it's really hard sometimes to do that, but I found that when I integrate everything together, my life becomes a little easier. I don't have to be this person here and that person there. I can just be who I am and the way I move through things. There's certain yoga jobs I won't take because they say you have to teach it this way. That's not me. I'm not going to do it. So I just say thank you, but no thank you, because it doesn't work for me. But once you start to integrate moving with the flow, leaning into your intuition and being a little more lighthearted and a little less serious, then you find balance. You find a path forward. Then you start to belong back to yourself. I think this card of belonging is coming back to yourself, belonging to you. And Brene Brown does a whole series or a whole TED Talk on belonging. And people, like, especially in school, like, you want to belong to this group or that group. You want to feel like you belong here or you belong there. And she talks about belonging to no one or nothing, but belonging to yourself. So this, for some of our Scorpions, this is coming back home to you. Maybe put down the sword or maybe put down the sword. Come back home to you, Scorpio. Come back into what is authentically you. Allow all aspects of yourself to be the same everywhere. Not easier said than done. I know, easier said than done. That will make things a lot easier for you, Scorpio. Hopefully you have found some help there. If you want more guidance, Scorpio, just reach out. Sagittarius. This is me, so let's see what spirit animals are guiding Sagittarius in this Gemini season. So Sagittarius and Geminis are the polar opposites, right? They are the yin and the yang of each other. Gemini wants Sagittarians to be a little more logical, and Sagittarius wants Geminis to get out of their head and to just follow their spirit. So, but there's a balance for both, right? There's a need for both elements and aspects in life. So let's see what spirit animal is guiding our Saggy friends during this Gemini season. And again, we're coming up with the new moon in Gemini. I think it's on the 25th or 26th, so just a couple days. So start writing down those intentions and how do you want to bring them forward. Hawk Spirit, let spirit be your guide. It's card number 32, which would reduce down to 5. 5 is the number of choices and transformation. Although in most of the minor arcana, 5s are a little disruptive, right? Sorry, I need a drink. Which is not surprising to me that I would pull a card, because I've been always going through these transformations or discomforts of life for sure. So Hawk Spirit for our Sagittarian friends. Flying high above the landscape, the hawk sees both the big picture and the small details and doesn't miss anything. When Hawk Spirit arrives, you are called to pay close attention to messages from Spirit that can appear anywhere in any form. Listen to your intuition and keep your eyes open for meaningful coincidences. Hawk Spirit asks you not to dismiss the signs that Spirit is sending to guide you. Lately, have you been hearing the same word or song or coming across the same symbol? Pay attention to the animals that appear for you and Connect with their symbolism. So, seeing everything, although that can be a little exhausting, right? But pay attention to repeating numbers, repeating songs, repeating names, repeating animals. So, Sagittarius, let's see what the Ganesha holds for you today. So, hawk spirit. I love hawks. We have hawks around here. They sit up in the trees. They're so pretty. So let's, okay, this one wants to come out. Sagittarius, you have, okay, divine support. This card has been a big symbol. Card number 48, which reduces to 12, which reduces to 3. So, there we go. And again, divine support, divine guidance, right? Spiritual guidance. It's all there. So what does the Tarot hold for our Sagittarian friends for Gemini season? And we have 6 of Cups, 4 of Cups, Knight of Swords. Okay, Saggies, where are we going here? 8 of Pentacles. So Sagittarius, I think some of you are not seeing your growth. Some of you are living in the past. Right? 6 of Cups is your past. And it could be fond memories. But 4 of Cups is not ready to move forward. You're not being able to see the things that are possible for you. You're not able to see what you're creating because you're maybe stuck in some old emotions. But here we go. The Knight of Swords comes, and again, the 3rd time for the Knight of Swords to come up. This time not on the root of the deck. And he's here to say, okay, we're cutting through the bullshit. We're cutting off the things. Take a moment. You are guided. Notice all the details, Sagittarius, and part ways with the details that do not matter to you. Right? The road is open. The road is yours, Saggy, to drive down. You get to decide if you're going to stay in this 4 of Cups and, just kind of ignore everything that's in front of you and that's available to you. You can choose that. Or you can, say, wake up. No, I'm going to cut this stuff out because, I have a life I'm creating and I'm almost there. And I know that I have the ability within me because when I was young, I had these big dreams. And I'm not going to get lost in whatever threw me off track. I'm going to clear the thoughts, to clear the path. Look at this. Who would not want to be on the motorcycle out here in the desert, right? Because I have a plan. And I'm not going to let this get in the way. However, there's no healing card that came up. There may be some emotional healing, Saggies, that you need to take a look at. Or some resolve that this happened and it is what it is. And it's time to move forward from that. Maybe it's time to gain clarity on some of the things that have been painful in the past, or some of the things that you go, you know what? I don't need this help. I'll do it on my own. Maybe that's not it. Maybe that's not it, Saggy. Cut that stuff out. You have abundance waiting for you. And you've been building the steps. Get out of your head, accept help, and move forward. Sorry, Saggies. I'm being a little tough on myself, I think. So, okay, Capricorn. Let's go into our Capricorn friends. Let's funnel these back into the deck. This Knight has come up quite a bit, Knight of Swords. So I think if anyone wants something to meditate on, I would meditate on whatever card in your reading that has been prominent for you. Maybe the card on the root of the deck or your spirit animal. Right, call that in and meditate on that, or put that as a screensaver, as a reminder, or look that animal up, or go into the deeper meaning of the card and see what that holds for you. So Capricorn, how is Capricorn today? What does this Gemini season hold for our Capricorn friends? Yeah, right? And it's a beautiful day to start Gemini season. The sun is out. I cannot wait to get outside. I'm filming this before I even get out today. Okay. White Capricorn, white raven spirit. Trust in the magic, card 66. White raven spirit. I just want to take a second here. I do want to look up the meaning of card number 66. I know a lot of people can get a little upset with like sixes and all that other stuff. It does not mean, it's not a bad thing at all. But I want to look up this in the 66, and it says, when you're burdened by worries, stress, or fear, it is more difficult to hear your angels' loving help. This is a message for you to spend time in prayer and meditation. Ask for spiritual intervention and open your arms to receive the help that always follows prayer. And this is trust in the magic. Right? Trust in, maybe for some of you, it's trust in the magic of prayer. And that could very well be it. So, nothing in the universe is random. For the intricate web of co-creation weaves together all events and has done so since the beginning of time. This goes kind of a little bit back to the spider spirit we've had. Coincidences have meaning, and white raven spirit appears to remind you to pay attention to these synchronicities so that you might recognize patterns. Even the winds dance in a pattern, participating in the magic of Spirit's plan for all. Align with the highest good and intentions, and you will come to see that White Raven is guiding you, an ally to you, and a messenger from Spirit. Align with the lights, and you will start to recognize that all is working together harmoniously in ways the eye can't see and the mind can't comprehend. So this is back into that knowing, that space of just knowing, and you don't know how you know because you can't see it, you can't physically feel it, but you know it deep within. Trust in the magic, Capricorn. I love that. Trust in magic, and there is magic everywhere. I mean, it's a miracle that all of us are here on this earth, in this world, at the same time. I don't think there's any coincidence when you meet certain people at certain times. Some are lessons, some are blessings. Although lessons are still blessings, they can just be frustrating blessings. So trust in the magic. So Capricorn, what does the Ganesha hold for you today? Just pull the top card here for you. Perseverance. And just look at this. Perseverance, which is trusting in the magic, right? So let's see what the tarot holds for our Capricorn friends. Yes. So before I came on today, I did light my incense. I cleansed all the cards. I infused them with sandalwood today. A little more grounding energy. So if you do that, let me know. How do you do your cards? I put them in the window or with selenite to clear them, or sage, right? And then I infuse them with whatever energy that I'm looking for the day. Today it was sandalwood because I wanted a little more grounding. So Capricorn. Capricorn. What does this hold for you today? Two of Cups. King of Pentacles. Judgment. And Two of Wands. So you have two twos, Two of Cups and Two of Wands. Now wands could be considered like magic wands, right? So twos are about choices, it's duality, it's balance, it's harmony, it's leaning in with your intuition and pairing your intuition with your desires, with your dreams. And how do you bring them into fruition? If it's already there, it's already done, it's already said. There is a big belief in the spiritual world that if it is within your, if it was in you, it's already done for you, whatever it is that you want. Your job is to remove any obstacle that gets in the way of you and the thing, you and the wish, you and the home, you and the relationship, you and the desire, you and the magic. What is blocking you from your magic? It's up to us to peel away those things. And it's easier said than done. Right? But that's our job here, is to undo everything that is not us. So Capricorn, thank you for the reminder to trust in the magic. Go back into that childlike phase. King of Pentacles. Capricorn, you're going right to the top. Well, of course, Capricorn is kind of like the royalty, right, of the zodiac. So going straight to the top. And again, earth sign for earth, right? Earth for earth sign. You know what you want. Although sometimes it's hard to realize for our earth signs that not everything has to be formulated. Not everything has to be a proven plan. Sometimes you need to trust in the magic of your intuition and in the universe in order to bring everything into alignment, right? To bring everything forward that you're seeking, to release the judgments. So, to release the judgment of how it should be structured and to allow some whimsy to come in. And trust that there is something outside of us to make all this happen, to bring this in. Releasing our judgments, which is really peeling away the layers of everything that is not you, so the true you can emerge. The logical aspect of you, the grounded earthly aspect, right? The linear phase, the plans, and the magic. So trust in the magic, Capricorn. It's there for you. It is within you. It is part of you. That is your reading, Capricorn. Hopefully you have found some guidance with that. Maybe you trust in a little magic. Maybe you go do a little spell or something. Maybe you work some magical spells in with your manifestation for our new moon. So Aquarius. How's Aquarius today? Our air sign, the last of the air signs, right? So we're coming towards the last phase of the zodiacal wheel, right? We had our beginning phases, our middle phases, and now Sagittarius started off with the ending phase. So Aquarius, what spirit animal is guiding you through this season of Gemini? Okay, right away popped up. Skunk Spirit, know your worth. Card number 54. And he's sitting like on a little flower. So 54, and that reduces to 9. And 9 is about endings or completions of cycles. Just if you want to look into that. So, Skunk Spirit, know your worth. What do you value? What do you believe in? Is your best, most authentic self on display? Skunk spirit comes as a reminder that you can be proud of who you are and what you have accomplished. Know your worth. Not everyone will agree with you or share your values, but you can walk with your head high, knowing that when you express your integrity, others can feel your authenticity and will be inspired by it. Be who you are, and if your reputation precedes you, good. You have much to be proud of, and Skunk Spirit wants you to be your best self, the true you. And a lot of this today is about authenticity, right? Peeling away what is not us, coming out of our shell, right? As for the our cancers, I think they had the golden canary, right? Singing your song, being authentically you. And this whole year is the start off to us, like, no longer being quiet or silenced, no longer being pushed around, no longer being held in fear, but allowing ourselves to be seen and heard. So, Aquarius, your Ganesha card is Delight, card number 3. So look at that. That is so beautiful. Delight. It's so beautiful. Just look at the colors. And the colors in this card, in the Ganesha card, are very similar to the Skunk Spirit. So I'm just saying, if these colors resonate with you, Aquarius, maybe you kind of go with that. Maybe you kind of wear these colors, or have something near you, or carry crystals that are of these colors, some rose quartz, or some jade or something, whatever calls to you. I just happen to notice that those colors are very similar. So, okay. These cards are getting a little out of hand right now. So let's pull the tarot for our Aquarian friends, and let's see what the tarot holds for you for Gemini season. And there's a card face up. No, there's a whole bunch of cards face up. Sorry, I have to turn them down. That would be like a whole big reading. Okay, Aquarius, let's go. What does the tarot hold for you today? And, well, not just today, for all of Gemini season. And you have 10 of Pentacles. Like, you're going straight there, right? Abundance, right? Abundance. You're delighting in your abundance. 10 of Wands. 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands. Ace of Wands. Lovely. The Devil on the bottom. So, know your worth, right? Very telling. The Devil, you're no longer allowing anyone or anything or society to determine what your worth is. Look, this is your worth, right? If you know who you are, you're delighting in the fact that you're actually starting to come forward and share your desires with people. You've worked really, really hard. You have done a lot of behind the scenes work, or some of you have been a lot of internal, emotional, and spiritual healing. And everything's starting to come forward. You have worked so hard that people haven't even noticed it, because they've decided to tell you that you can't do this, you can't do that. And you have proven them wrong. And when you start to delight in who you are, and you start to know your own worth, opportunity, Ace of Wands, opportunity after opportunity will start to present themselves to you. You have an abundance of opportunity and an endless amount of inspiration coming to you. You have this big passions. you have multiple things that you're going to be doing. I would not be surprised if some of you are entrepreneurs and with multiple types of multiple businesses in different areas of business. Some of you could be involved in finance. Some of you can be involved with the wellness world, you know, yoga, meditation. Some of you can maybe lead retreats. Some of you could, you know, be traveling the world, having new experiences. There's a wealth of abundance and opportunity waiting for you because you've done the work. You're no longer allowing anybody to tell you who you are, because you're finding your value and you're delighting in it. Like, you said I couldn't, but guess what? This is what I have. All of this here. And you no longer have a say, because I've done all of this despite the fact that you didn't believe in me. Nice job, Aquarius. I love this. Cannot wait to see how this unfolds for you. And we have our last sign, Pisces. Hello, Pisces. Let's see what Gemini season holds for our Piscean friends. So let's start with your spirit animal in Pisces. What spirit animal? You know, we have not had any water animals come out, I don't think, have we? We'll see. We've had some birds, which would be associated with, you know, the element of air. But let's see what spirit animal is here for our Piscean friends. Okay, that card just slid out. And we have the mouse spirit again. I think this came up with Libra. Tend to the small things, card of 40. So I think this came up with Libra, if I'm not mistaken. So tend to the small things, Pisces. Yeah, and Pisces can tend to miss some of the small things. The humble mouse pays attention to the smallest details, and mouse spirit calls you to notice the nuances and the fine print at this time. In your eagerness to meet your goals and pursue your dreams, it is easy to forget the importance of clear communication and tending to the little things, including people's subtle signs that they are unhappy, as well as a small voice inside of you that says, "This doesn't feel right." Take your time to sniff out what you need to know. Is there some detail or nuance about how you engage with others or operate in the world that is key to your success, but you've too readily dismissed it as nothing big or nothing special? Mouse spirit reminds you that what seems small may be more important and powerful than you think, so look again. So again, yeah, and Pisces, they can kind of swim on by, right? Like in their own little world. They can miss some of the small details. So just pay a little more attention, Pisces, right? You have that, it's not even intuition you have. You're just very psychic. So lean into the psychic energies and allow your psychic energies to guide you to the details. I know, it gets a little boring, the little minutiae details, but they're very important. So let's see what Ganesha holds for our Pisces. Spiritual Quest, card number 40, and this is card number 40. So just saying, so 40 could be someone's age, it could be 40, and you know, we know in the Bible 40 days and 40 nights. Noah's Ark, it rained 40 days and 40 nights. Moses was on Mount Sinai for 40 days and 40 nights, getting the tablets for the 10 Commandments. So 40 is a very big spiritual number, Pisces. Let me see what it says here. And you can reduce it down to 4. But in this case, I might keep it at 40, but let's see what it says. God and angels are surrounding you with heavenly love and protection. Okay. Divine guidance, spiritual quest, which would be in alignment with Pisces. They're not necessarily very religious, like not an organized religion, but they have such a connection to the other side that maybe you're leaning deeper into that knowing. Okay. Star card popped out, so we'll just take that. Hope, faith, right? You've been through some stuff, but you know that you can overcome anything that comes your way. We have the Star card. Seven of Pentacles. A lot of Pentacles coming up. Page of Wands. And on the root, you have the Hermit, which is pretty good for Pisces, right? The Hermit is, you know, going within, like putting space between you and the world and going back to your inner world, which aligns with your spiritual quest, right? Sometimes to tend to the little things, we have to get really, really quiet. The Hermit, leaning into just quietness, leaning into the nature out there, like trees and earth and sun and moon and air and wind and oxygen, but leaning into the true nature of you. And the thing is, you have secret wishes, Pisces. You have these really deep-seated desires, whether they are around your spirituality or for your personal growth, to the point that you've been working on things. And you've got a lot of dreams, Pisces. And Pisces are our dreamers, right? But you have a lot of dreams that are guiding you. And you have a lot of internal energy. And a lot of, I don't want to use the word inspiration, but a lot of passion that you've been working on. You've been working on things for a while, Pisces. And again, we have the Star. We have full faith in ourselves because we're doing the inner work, right? And the inner work is so important for all of us. And people tell me all the time, oh, I can't meditate. So here's the thing. And I say this all the time. Meditation is not clearing the mind. It's just spending a couple moments with yourself with controlled breathing. But we don't do meditation to get good at meditating. That's a fallacy. So if that's what you're thinking, that's not what it is. We do meditation not to get good at meditation. We do meditation to get better at life, to get better at becoming who we are meant to be, to get better at, leaning into our spiritual quest, to see the small things, to be comfortable with ourselves, to peel away the layers of everything that is not us. That's why we do meditation. And you can argue with me, and you can argue that point. I have friends that do that all the time. It doesn't make it right. You just want to try to validate something. And if you don't want to meditate, that's fine. You don't have to. But this is the key. Pisces has it. Right? Pisces keeps things very close in, and they bring them forward only when they're ready. So Pisces, keep going. Bring it forward when you're ready. Allow this passion just to start to shine in such a sweet little playful way. You're on the right path, Pisces. I love this for you. Hopefully you have found some inspiration, Pisces, as well. So that is the individuals. I will do a quick general reading for the whole collective. And we'll put these cards away. We'll keep the tarot deck. We'll put these cards away, and I will pull out the moon deck. I'll just pull out the moon deck and the tarot. And we'll do just a reading for the whole entire collective for Gemini season. We'll start off with our moon deck, and then we'll do the tarot for the whole entirety for the whole general population collection. And we'll see, in general, what is Pisces, what is Gemini trying to tell us. So let's pull our moon deck out and shuffle this. And see, I know this is a little bit of a long video. I will have to try to figure out how to put timestamps on her. So you don't have to kind of keep scrolling through the whole thing. That might be a little easier for you. If I can get it to work, that would be great. So, the moon deck. This is for the whole collective. I craft my core desires with certainty and ease. Card number 10. And again, this is all about our inner working, right? The things we hold within us, the inner desires. Look at that. I craft my inner desires with certainty and ease. This is card number 10. And it says, and it looks like she's got a feather here. So it looks like, yeah, she's doing some spell work or manifestation work. Our deepest desires can act as a roadmap, guiding us to craft a life with purpose and meaning. It is in our nature to create, yet sometimes it's just a matter of slowing down enough to remember who we are. You are a craftswoman. If you listen closely, you know what you want and how to manifest it. When you claim your innate ability to craft and create, you connect to a deep knowing that is unshakable. It lives in your bones and is magnetic when awakened. You may create art, a home, a family, an adventure, a business, delicious foods, or a garden. The options are endless. Instead of exhausting your energy and repressing your dreams, give them direction no matter how small. You hold the reins and can steer them. You deserve the space to pause and inquire. Feel a sense of trust and ease with all that you are crafting in your life. And there's a ritual here as well. And this is really telling because so many people, they're tired, they're exhausted. Maybe the exhaustion isn't coming from what we're doing. Maybe it's coming from what we're not doing. Maybe we're just exhausted. And we feel exhaustion in our minds and our bodies. But maybe that's not what it is. Maybe our soul is exhausted because it's trying to get our attention. It's trying to get us to slow down and connect back to ourselves, to live the life that we were born to live. Maybe the exhaustion is us constantly fighting against our own self. And so if that is you, then take a look at that. Right? Maybe it's time for a reading. And if you want a reading, let me know. I can definitely break that down for you and give you steps. But here's the thing. If you want it, then you have to, if you don't do the steps, if you just get the reading without taking action, then it's just a reading. Three of Wands. Are you hoping for that life, or are you taking actions and steps? Let's see what else comes out. Okay. Sorry. A message just popped up. And again, things are on Do Not Disturb, but they still tend to pop up. So let's see what else comes out. Five of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles, rather. Knight of Swords. This, if you're going to meditate on any card, or if you're going to lean into any card, Knight of Swords for Gemini season. That's what I say. Maybe not. Seven of Pentacles. Three of Swords. So are we letting the thoughts, are we letting other people's opinions of ourselves get in the way of who we were meant to be? I forget who that came out for. the Magician. Let's see what else comes out. So this is, again, for everybody, for the whole collective, all 12 signs, a general reading for Gemini season. Again, we have 30 days, everyone, or something like that. I still think we need some more cards. Six of Wands is on the bottom. Five of Swords. The Lovers. Here we go. All right. So let's dive into this. Again, I craft my core desires with certainty and ease. We're going to go back to this of if you are feeling tired and constantly tired and exhausted, and we will give these human labels of sadness, depression, anxiety. This is what we put on them as in the human form. In reality, if you're feeling these things, it's because you have separated from yourself, or you are not paying attention to your soul essence. And this is what this whole year is about. The less you pay attention to who you are, the less you listen to your intuition, the more you resist, the more exhausted you're going to become. The more you're going to say, I'm depressed, I have anxiety. If you continue that cycle, you will feed that and you will become that. If you choose to take steps in the opposite direction, to peel away the layers, then you will start to heal. The Magician. You have the ability, right, to become who you want to be and who you are meant to be. You were given all of that. Three of Wands. Now this can be a planning card, or this can be a dreaming card, like, oh, yes, I want this. But are you secure enough to leave the safety of the boundaries of what you think is safe? Or are you allowing yourself to kind of be boxed in a little bit? The Knight of Swords is saying, get out of your own way, get out of your mind, or out of your limiting beliefs. The road is open for you. Everything you want is available. And look, I have these moments too. I have days where I just don't want to do readings. I don't want to lean into my spirituality. I don't want to go, oh, I'm tired. What? But then I wake up the next day or whatever it is, and I just get back into it. But it's a choice. I have to make a choice every single day. So the Knight of Swords, like, get the hell out of your head. Like, get over yourself. Stop bullshitting yourself. You can work for what it is that you want, or you can allow the thoughts in your mind to hold you back and to keep you small. You can allow yourself, and it's not easy. I'm not saying by any means any of this is easy. You can keep repeating these thoughts to yourself that you are not enough, that who are you to do this, or who are you to do that. You can allow these thoughts to keep you in your box, or you can pay attention to the Knight of Swords. Get the hell out of your head, because you are magic in yourself. What was it, Capricorn? Trust the magic. You are magic within yourself. This is available to everyone, and not just available to a couple few, or a small percentage of the world. It is available to everyone. You have to choose, though, whether or not you're going to follow that. And once you make that choice, it's not going to be an easy road, right? You want to have the light on you. But here's the thing. Some of you, or some of us, get defensive, like, I can't do this, and I can't. And we defend our position of staying in the box. We defend our position of staying in the dream. We defend our position of allowing others to keep us small. Because once you do this and you allow this, then you have to take responsibility for your life. And you get to do that because this, and the Gemini card, the very last card of today's reading came out. The Lovers, duality, companionship, choices, the sun, water, all the elements, love, joy, happiness. It's all within you. You get to choose, everyone. You get to choose. The path to the choice is not easy, right? Because we want to get stuck here and here. And you can. Or you can say, I don't know how. What do I do? And then you start to open that path, that doorway. You crack it open. Instead of this being a dream, this becomes a plan. Instead of this becomes like that fantasy within, like, oh, I wish my life were like this. This then becomes a plan. And instead of being held in a box, the box becomes your foundation. And your foundation leads you to freedom. And that freedom leads you to growth and to honing in your skills of knowing who you are. Who you are. The skills in the world, yeah, for your job and everything else, but the skill of knowing who you are is the most important skill you're going to ever cultivate. And it takes work. And you have to take these swords and pull them out of your heart one at a time. And when you pull them out, you have to toss away the connection to the words that kept you small. And maybe you have to disconnect from the people who put these swords into you. Maybe not permanently, but temporarily, because you're growing into who you're meant to be. You're leaning into the magic. You are crafting your desires with certainty. They're both alchemists. They're both creators. You're going here. Yeah, you might get a little defensive. Or you might start to stand up for yourself and say, I'm defending my right to be seen, to be acknowledged, my right to love, joy, happiness, and peace, my right to be the alchemist of my life. That is your reading, everyone, for Gemini season. Hopefully you have found some hope, inspiration, things to ponder, things to question. Always question, right? Go in, find yourself, peel away the layers that are not you. If you want a reading, information is somewhere. Information is here. Until the next time, I will be on for a general reading for the new moon in Gemini. Until then, I send you light and love and enjoy this Gemini season, everyone. Talk to you soon.